Okay, yeah. So we're recording now. Yeah, so I think I can start now. See. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. I hope you had an amazing day. Welcome to today's session. This is the second week of the WiLG Women's Mentorship Program. I hope that the first week was really exciting for you as it was for us. Today we are having Rawan Taha. She's an amazing good friend of mine. I met her in 2019 when we were part of the African Presidential Leadership Program in Egypt. And Rawan is amazing. She's an author. She does amazing work. She currently works at the United Nations World Foods Program in Namibia. And she's here to share her journey with you. She has worked a lot of inspiring others to take up global opportunities. You know, she wrote a book, No More Job Secrets, and I'm sure she's going to share some of those secrets with you today. And yeah, she's already in the room and we want to start off. So Rawan, thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you and we look forward to all the learnings that we'll learn today. And yeah, so welcome Rawan. So please can we all give her a round of applause and welcome her in our LMI, in our WiLG way. Thank you.
Thank, thank you guys for the virtual applause. I appreciate it. So let me just,
let me stop sharing.
all right. Let me see how I can present. I was telling Veronica earlier, I'm not so familiar with using Google Meet. I usually use Zoom, so let me just give me a second to figure it out. Present.
Thanks.
Okay. But while we're here, maybe you guys can just tell me in the chat as well. Maybe in one word, the session today is about career development. So if you can tell me if you're employed, if you're unemployed, if you are underemployed, you think you have a job but you can get a better job, or if you can just define your employment status in one word, how would you define it? If you can just type that in the chat while I find my presentation, it will just also give me some insight.
Okay. That's cool.
Okay. So I think I'm sharing my screen. Let me just. You guys can see my screen, right? But now I can't see anything that you're typing or sharing. Can you see my screen, Hannah?
Let me see.
Coming through?
Coming through.
Okay. Has anyone typed there in the chat? Let me see the chat.
Yes.
Anyone has typed. All right. Self-employed. Awesome. Unemployed, employed. So there's a mix in the audience. Comfort, I would be curious to know what you're doing being self-employed. And Okudi, I would love to know what kind of job you're searching for as well. And then Mary, you can tell us if you're happily employed, if you're looking for a better job, or what your expectations are. Let me see my presentation. Okay. Can we see it now? You can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm not able to see the chat or anything, Panna, so you can just monitor that for me.
Yeah, monitor it for you. Yes,
okay, awesome.
That's better. Okay,
Okay.
someone says, I'm a freelance writer and I own a fashion business.
Amazing. I love Nigerian fashion. You can also share that with the group in the chat. You can share your page, and then I'm sure you guys are already networking beyond this program, but part of this program is for you to make friends, to get to know each other better. So make sure that you're sharing your work with others as well. You can share that with me. If you're not already following me on LinkedIn, please feel free to do so. My name is on the screen, and I post opportunities for youth. I post fellowships, entry-level jobs, and volunteering opportunities, mostly in the UN and other international organizations. So Pana has already given you an introduction about me, so I'm not gonna go over that right now. You can connect with me on LinkedIn if you're curious to know more. And this is my job. Sorry, this is my book, No More Job Secrets. It is my job. It's my side hustle, but I do have a morning job. I always joke, I say I have a job from 8 to 5, and then I have a job again from 5 to 9. So my 8 to 5 job is I work at the UN. I work at the UN World Food Program. I'm a monitoring and reporting officer, and my duty station is Namibia. I'm currently in Cairo working remotely. And then my side hustle, or my passion, my purpose of being, is helping others find the careers of their dreams, because it took me a long time to get to that stage. And I also love writing, similar to, I think, Mariam, who said she likes writing. So today, I told Veronica earlier I want to try something for this group that I've never tried before. So I prepared a poll. Um, you can all go to mentee.com and type this code that's on the screen, 72862979, or you can take a picture of the QR code if you're on your laptop and you're using your phone, and you have your phone. I know there's problems with the electricity right now in Nigeria, so you can just do what you can to join the poll. The link is also here, so let me see if I can, maybe I can like copy paste it and send it to you all in the chat as well. So the purposes of the poll is for this presentation to be as democratic as possible. So I prepared different topics in the presentation. I prepared 6 different topics. We're not going to have time to go through all the 6 topics, but you can rank the topics, the 6 topics. You can just click on the link. I'll also go back to the presentation. So you can go on the link. It's self-explanatory. You can go on the link and then rank the choices that I have over here. So this is my this is this is what it looks like. There's 6 topics, and you can rank them. When you've managed to join, just let me know.
Okay.
So
So
all
I
you have.
also shared it on their WhatsApp group, so those who can click on the WhatsApp group so you can see it there.
Okay, awesome teamwork. So let me see. Once you've joined, I'll be able to see, and I think there's about 4 or 5 people, right, that should be voting, right, Veronica?
Yes.
Okay. So there's 6 topics that I've prepared in the presentation. I'm happy to share the slides later on, but I was thinking maybe for the purpose of this hour to make it as productive as possible and to go through the topics that you find interesting. We can pick the first 2 topics that are of interest to everyone. Veronica, you can vote as well, and we can go through these topics.
Okay.
So one person, one
Okay.
person. Okay, one person has voted so far, and these are the votes. We can just wait a minute or 2 for other people to vote, and then we're not going to go through the slide deck in order. We're going to go through the slides in the order that you choose, so we can finish one topic, and then if there's, can you still hear me? I heard us. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear
All
you.
right. So we can go through the slides in the order that you choose. I'll wait for more people to vote. You can just touch base with them on the WhatsApp group, Hannah, to see if anyone is like struggling. Okay, a second person has voted. People are still interested in LinkedIn and professional branding, which I find a little surprising. I saw on your program that in a few days you will be having a session on professional branding as well. But that's interesting to know that people are keen to improve their LinkedIn. We can still, all right. So LinkedIn and professional branding, and then CVs, and then interviews, and then UN jobs. Should we wait for Comfort as well to vote? There's Comfort, there was Miriam, there was I can't see the names on the screen anymore. But guys, you can vote a little faster so we can get started with the presentation. And please do participate. It's the presentation is for you, the session is for you. So I would love for you to learn about something that you're interested in. Anybody else that's gonna vote, or should we proceed with those two votes? Let me look at the chat. I'm so sorry, network here is really slow. Okay. I could see a few other people joined. There's Sharon. So people who just joined, there's a mentee, there's a poll. I'm gonna pin it. Hover over message to pin it, okay? And then so there's a okay, so somebody say, all right, I think that's fair as well. If you don't have enough network to go on the poll, you can just type in the chat. So there's 6 topics, okay? The 6 topics are LinkedIn and professional branding, CVs, interviews, UN jobs, defining your strength and values, and learning and development. If you don't have enough network to rank them on the poll, which is cooler, but I understand. If you don't have enough network, maybe type your top 2 in the order of your preference in the chat, and then we can take those votes into consideration as well. I'll
Okay,
give
because I took a picture and shared it on their WhatsApp group. So you can also look at the group and then you can just look at the options and then drop your comments. Okay, learning and development. Yeah, Sharon has dropped learning and development.
All right, the rest, guys, participate, please. LinkedIn
Link.
and professional branding
Mhm.
and UN jobs. Okay, so LinkedIn and professional branding is in the is in the lead, which I didn't expect, but okay. And then UN jobs as well. Come on, guys, faster, faster. We're starting in 2 minutes, so I'm being as democratic as I can. But so UN jobs and then LinkedIn and professional branding. So let
Yeah.
me see. Okay, so is there anybody else that's gonna vote? We'll wait until quarter past the hour, so 2 more minutes, and then we can get started. Or for now, to save time, since a lot of people want LinkedIn and professional branding, we can go through that topic first, and then let me see, did anyone else vote? I don't think so. It's just 2 votes right now. All right, I'm gonna get started with the slides,
Mhm.
then and then I'll stop again and pause after we've gone through the first session of the LinkedIn and professional branding, and then we could see what people want to go through next. We have 45 more minutes. Okay,
Okay.
so LinkedIn. Maybe in the chat or by a show of hands or by a show of hearts, how many people use LinkedIn? 2 people, 3 people? How many people, Veronica? Everyone?
Everyone, I'm sure.
Okay, awesome. So LinkedIn, I love LinkedIn. I'm not really a social media girl. I love fashion. I don't know who earlier said that they love fashion, but I'm a very shy girl, so I don't like posting things publicly about my life. But I love LinkedIn. It for me, it's a platform that really changed my life. It allowed me to connect through so many amazing people. I could say that I never got a job through LinkedIn, but I really like it really expanded my network. It helped me have a professional brand. It helped people recognize me. LinkedIn is the reason that like I decided to write a book, to publish a book, and it helped give me that credibility and that authority because I've chosen a niche that I focus on and that I publish regularly on. So it has given me that authority and credibility as a professional. So LinkedIn at a glance, these statistics, they're not that recent. So maybe I found this from about a year ago. I'm sure the numbers have increased. So there's about 610 million people on LinkedIn. It's a massive number. And 40% of these people visit the website daily. So Maybe it's not like the other social media platforms that are more social, but LinkedIn also has people who regularly visit the website, not necessarily recruiters or people that are hiring, but people like you and me who are looking to network, who are looking to establish their authority, that are looking to, discover what's out there in the market. So people use it to apply for jobs. And then if you ask people what has LinkedIn helped you with, they'll tell you different things. So some people tell you it helps me to get a job, but that's, the typical answer. For me, as I told you, that has not worked before, but it does help me research people and companies. So for example, if I'm going to an interview, um, if I'm going to attend a conference, if I'm traveling somewhere, if somebody sends me um, an invitation to speak at an event, the first thing I do is check their LinkedIn. And the reason is that it's a live platform. You can read people's posts, you can see how they communicate, you can read about what's close to them, their values. It gives you a more natural impression of the person rather than a CV or a cover letter that are very important professional documents, but are still a bit static. Sometimes they lack personality. So if you use LinkedIn effectively, for example, when Veronica invited me to the summit, I checked her profile, I checked her company page. This is how I knew, for example, that she was doing the event about the the motions tomorrow. So something like that is a great conversation opener. Like if I meet Veronica today at the supermarket, and even if I wasn't doing this event and I'm connected with her on LinkedIn, and I tell her, "Oh, great job running this initiative. It's really interesting that you're doing a session for young women on drafting motions." It's something that I've really never heard of before. It's creative, it's innovative, it shows passion. So saying something like that to somebody really, it helps you connect with that person. It helps to make that person like you, because humans at the end of the day are interested in people that are interested in them. So that element of, I'm not saying element of ego, but that element of like having people interested in you is very underestimated. And this is something magical that you can do with LinkedIn. Um, so you can build relationships, generate opportunities, and find out things about people that you can use to your advantage. Like, for example, if you're targeting a certain company and the company CEO is posting on LinkedIn about AI or how AI can be used to enhance production in that company. Maybe in your cover letter, you can bring those elements that the CEO is passionate about, and you could say, like, through my research about AI or through my expertise in AI, we can use AI to enhance production through one, two, three, four, So you can use those elements in a really intelligent way to your advantage. It's a very powerful research tool. It's powerful for networking, and it can really help you get a job if you're using it in the right way. So it's very important for you to be visible on LinkedIn. A lot of people said they have LinkedIn profiles, but are you a LinkedIn ghost, or are you a LinkedIn celebrity? Are you somewhere in between? You don't have to be a celebrity, but definitely do not be a LinkedIn ghost. You should be posting on LinkedIn. At the beginning, we all started somewhere, right? Not everyone has thousands of followers, but you should be posting. Um, Even if you're not posting, you're not creating posts, you should be commenting on other people's posts. Why? Because there is an algorithm for LinkedIn, some sort of algorithm. I don't know exactly what it is, but the algorithm really likes interaction. So the more you interact, the more visible you are to others. And the more visible you are to others, the more they will click on your profile, and the more you are likely to get noticed and get views, or get jobs, or get clicks on your profile, or get invitations from recruiters, whatever it is that you're seeking. But if you are invisible, it is very unlikely that someone will notice you. I know many people who have been hired through LinkedIn, even in my organization where I currently work right now. People have posted things that have caught recruiters' attention or senior management's attention, and then they are invited um, They are invited for informal meetings. They are invited to start short opportunities that have led to longer opportunities. So do not take LinkedIn lightly. It's a very powerful platform. If you are keen to post, you can post success stories, you can post jobs. This is what I mainly post. And you can also, if you work in a company or you work in a business and you're too shy to spotlight yourself, you can also spotlight others. So there's a lot of things that you can post. Some tips for LinkedIn. Again, do not be a ghost. So before or after you post, you should spend some time engaging with others. So as soon as you post something, don't just post something and disappear. Interact, comment, um, form relationships, ask questions, just so that you can get that conversation going. Um, Also, you can make your posts visually interesting. Try to put a picture of something that's relevant at least some of the time, and create content that is compelling, that is engaging, that gets people to think. The most important line of your post is the very first line. So, this is the hook or what gets people to read more. If you can get people to click the read more button, you're already halfway there with LinkedIn. So, a lot of people, or the majority of people, use LinkedIn for job purposes. So, when should you post? You should post when people are at work. So, the worst time to post is at night when people are not at work, so 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And it's also not so favorable to post during the weekends or Monday morning when people are, are busy in the depth of their emails. So you should post in the middle of the week, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is like, between lunchtime in the morning when people are still getting the day started. To be honest, I do not follow these rules. I post whenever I want. Since I post also a lot, I'm very careful not to post during the working hours because I have a paid job. So I don't want to start like, conflict uh, with my manager. And also, I want to have integrity. I don't want to be posting during my working hours. So mainly, I do post at night. But if you are keen to engage more, you should focus on the audience in the time zone that you want to engage with. So let's say you want to engage with audience in the US or you're targeting working in the US, you should be posting in a time zone that's okay for them, not in the middle of the night in the US. If you want to target an audience in Nigeria, you should be posting in a reasonable hour as well. The same for all social media platforms, right? You don't want to be posting in the middle of the night or some odd hour where people are not likely to see it. And the most important thing for branding and networking is that it's so, so much easier when you're talking about something you're passionate about. So if you're talking about, let's say somebody said earlier they were passionate about writing and fashion. So if you're talking about fashion or you're posting new fashion trends or you're posting your own work, it's going to be so easy because when you're talking about something that you love, the words just flow off the tip of your tongue, right? So it's not going to feel like work. So, a checklist. If you want to improve your LinkedIn, this is a checklist that you can follow. Maybe I can show you my profile right now and show you how that works. So the first thing is professionalize your URL. Your URL is that link at the top of the page. So by default, it's some strange um, mix of numbers and letters, including your name, but you can professionalize your URL. You can make it just your name if that's available. So, for example, you can make it like Veronica Pana. It doesn't have to be some strange jumble of letters and numbers. Include and update your contact information. So, your contact information is important. You should have. I have my email on my LinkedIn. You should have a well-lit looking forward headshot. You should have a headline. So your headline is super important as well. Your headline is what appears under your name on LinkedIn. So for example, mine says, I post jobs, international jobs, fellowships and internships for youth. So that's completely up to you. You could say what you do in your day job, like I could say monitoring and reporting officer for WFP, or you could say what it is that you do on LinkedIn. I tried both approaches and I have settled for the latter, which is saying what I do on LinkedIn or what it is that I'm passionate about. Because people that follow me don't follow me because I work somewhere or because I do monitoring at WFP. They follow me because they're looking for entry level jobs. So this is what I have settled for. And also, just to show that what I do on LinkedIn is not affiliated professionally with what I do in the morning, I have decided to draw that line or that demarcation. But your headline is so important. This is like the make or break deal or why people click on your profile. So make sure that you have a good, powerful headline that says what it is that you do. A very easy way to do this is you could say, like, close your eyes and say, I do A for B. Like, for example, I do monitoring for WFP. This could be your headline. Other people decide to say, like, what sets them apart from the crowd, you know? I do monitoring for WFP through, let's say, AI. This is what sets me apart. You know, I'm not like all the other monitoring officers. Maybe I use artificial intelligence to analyze my data. You can do that as well. So these are like different, really simple approaches if you can't figure it out right now. But ask yourself, like, if you went to um, a cocktail party or a braai or a barbecue. I know Nigerians have amazing music and they love to dance. So if you go to a, a, a dance with your friends, or you go somewhere just for a drink, and somebody asks you what do you do for a living, and it's an informal setting, what will you tell them? Like, you're not going to tell them a paragraph of what it is that you do in your daytime job. You probably say a few words that will be easy to understand for somebody, regardless of their educational background, right? So think about your headline. It's very important. And I would say maybe it's one of the most important parts of your profile. Recording your name pronunciation. I think LinkedIn has removed that feature, but previously you were able to record your name. And this is also important, especially, like, for example, a lot of people don't know how to pronounce my name. So, for example, if you want to speak to somebody um, at a company and they have a name that's not familiar to you, you can, you know, be courteous and go the extra mile and listen to how they pronounce their name. It also gives you, you know, these bonus points. If you meet somebody, let's say if you meet a professional or if you meet a governor or if you meet the CEO of the company of your dreams, and then you go, you're prepared, you know what they're posting about, you know how they pronounce their name, you know what interests them, you know what gaps they have in the company. So if you know all these things just through simply, in plain terms, stalking them on LinkedIn, you've already, you've already beaten some of the crowd. Change your banner picture. So there's a banner picture as well on LinkedIn. You can put something, not necessarily your picture. You can put, for me, I have put like a picture of my book. So if you sell something, you can put um, the URL of your company, or you can put your personal website, or you can put like a sales pitch, whatever it is that you want to put, but make sure of this very, very precious real estate space. There's other sections of your LinkedIn. This is all your intro section, the first box. There's other section like your experience, your skills, your publications, and also I'm missing here recommendations. So look at your LinkedIn profile today. Maybe work in pairs. Pick somebody from the group, or I can pair you together randomly right now. And for your homework, go through this checklist and make sure that everything is updated. Make sure your contact information is updated, your picture is updated, your skills are updated, your publications, if you have any, you're featured. You can show 6 pieces of featured products to showcase your expertise. Veronica has done that very well on her company page. So she has like featured the previous sessions and the upcoming sessions. So these are all things you can do. I will pair you in a second. And always remember that you should build your network before you need it. There's a worksheet right now. Let me click on it. 9 steps to create your personal brand. 1 second. All right, it's opening. Okay, so I can send that to Veronica as well. So for homework, I can pair the mentees into two, at least the mentees that are here today. And then you can do this homework. You can go through this worksheet, which is 9 steps to create your personal brand. You can follow them. Sorry, it's 10 steps, not 9. I don't know. There's a typo on the sheet. So you can think about who you are, what motivates you, what drains you, who is your audience? Is your audience governors, lawyers, CEOs? Is it single mothers? Depends on what it is that you do. Think about what you want to achieve, and then look at how you present yourself. How do you present yourself? Do you present yourself professionally? Do you present yourself as somebody who is a junior professional who's still looking for a career? List adjectives you would like people to use when describing you. So, for example, if you want people to describe you as outgoing or professional or funny or smart, how do you present yourself? And how do you want other people to see you? And is there a gap between these things? Um, there's other steps to the sheet. I'm not going to read it one by one, but you can read the sheet and you can work in pairs. Let me just save it so I can remember to send it. Let me see. Let me save it. Let me create a folder on my computer quickly so that I don't forget. I'm going to call it Veronica. And then I'm going to call it homework. And then, all right. So let me pause here to see if anyone has any questions, because I've spoken a lot, a lot, a lot. Let me pause here to see the questions that people have, and we can answer them. And then, like, if you're bored as well, you can tell me if you want me to try a different approach, if you don't want the slides. Democracy is important. So let me see. I want you to leave the session happy.
So Rawan, when I shared on the WhatsApp group, a lot of people had dropped some of their comments, so I could just read some for you.
No problem. Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of people still choose LinkedIn and professional branding, learning and development, UN jobs. So yeah, we got that.
Okay. And like what was presented so far on LinkedIn and professional branding, does anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions, guys? If not, I'm going to pair you together. Just maybe I'll follow an alphabetical order. I don't know if I could see everyone's names. So I'll put Miriam and Blessing. Miriam and Blessing, you're a team now to review each other's LinkedIn profiles. And I'll also give you a sheet that you can fill out on establishing your brand. And then you can be each other's um, like, I don't know, accountability partner. Just check in with each other to see that you filled the sheet, and then you can give each other feedback on each other's LinkedIn as constructively as possible. You can follow the checklist and go through the things one by one. So Miriam and Blessing are team number 1. You can also think of a cool name for your team and then tell Veronica, because I'm sure you can think of a cool name. And then team number 2 are Sharon and Akude. Shiamaka, so that's team number 2.
Okay.
And then team number 3 is Comfort and Cecilia.
Okay.
And then team number 4 is Happiness and Veronica.
All right.
All right, so these are the teams. You can go through the checklist. I'll also share the presentation if you want to go through it, but the presentation is just like a skeleton. You can go through the presentation, go through the checklist. I can also open my LinkedIn profile right now just to show you like a few of these things. So the URL is this URL at the top. I did it a long time ago. Let me see how it is that you do it. Maybe it's under me. If you go to your name and then click me, and then maybe settings and privacy. I hope it's the right thing. Um, Let me see, where's the URL? And other things are like people also viewed. These are things that are like LinkedIn pro tips, but things I like to switch off are people also viewed because, for example, let me say like I'm thinking of hiring a graphic designer, and you know how sometimes when you go on people's profiles, it tells you people also viewed, and there's a list of people with with other similar profiles.
Yeah.
So in this case, it will give me like another list of graphic designers. So like this creates unnecessary competition for yourself, even if it's like unconscious. If somebody's looking through your profile and they're thinking, oh, cool, yeah, I want to hire a graphic designer. And then all of a sudden they could see at the bottom of your page 6 other graphic designers. Maybe one of them has a stronger profile than you or has stronger credentials. So you've just created this unnecessary competition for yourself. So I always advise people to switch that off. 1 second, let me see for name, location, and industry. Let me see, is it here? So there's your name, your title, which your headline, which is super important. You can also, I don't know, get AI suggestions. I'm not sure. I don't have LinkedIn Premium, but you could use things like ChatGPT for this. Name pronunciation, you can only record that um, on the app, or you can only record that from like your phone. You can't record that from a laptop, as far as I know. But I mean, it's not something that I have, but I would encourage you to do that as well. Let me go and see where to do the URL. Visibility, maybe?
Rawan, you have a question. I think someone missed your question. Says, what did you say one should turn off, please? You know, when
Okay.
you, yeah.
So so if you go to account preferences, and then I'm suggesting that you switch off people also viewed, because if I can view comfort, and then I can also view happiness, and I can also view Miriam, and they have similar profiles, then I've created this competition for myself. So I switch it off. So if somebody's looking at my profile, they can only see my profile. They don't have a list of names at the bottom of the page. You will see that in some people's profiles if they haven't switched it off. So I suggest you switch that off. People also viewed. Um, Let me see where I can't remember where to do the LinkedIn URL, but it was something super straightforward. If I remember later, I'll send Veronica the steps of how to change the URL. I can't remember right now at the top of my head how it's changed. Let me see. I'm sure it's under settings and privacy, but where? Maybe sign in security. No, visibility. Okay. Mm, Account preferences. Okay. I can't remember how to do it right now, but I'm sure if we Google it, it will be super simple. How to change a LinkedIn URL. Click on View Profile on your profile page. Click the edit icon next to public profile and URL. Edit icon next to public profile and URL. So let's see what these people are saying. Here, is it here? Oh, oh, it's so super simple. So on your main profile, there's a little pencil. It says public profile and URL. So you can click on that. And then you can edit this URL. So over here, you can you can customize your URL. So it should contain 3 to 100 letters or numbers. So let's, for example, go to somebody else's profile and see if they've done this. So for example, I'm just going to go to yours, Veronica. Veronica. Let me see if she's done that. So Veronica's done that as well. She's changed her URL. Let me go to this person's. Let me see if she's hidden the people she has as well. So that's great. So you can also look at Veronica's profile. It's up to date. Her featured section is updated. Um, her website is there, which is great. She has her About Me section is there. So her profile is up to date. She has a very nice picture. She's made use of the prime real estate space for a cover. So this is also a good example you can look at. I'm going to look randomly at this person's profile. This person has also updated their URL. I want to show you an example of somebody who hasn't done that. So this person, for example, hasn't done it. So this is the default. You see how it's like, it has all these numbers and letters and slashes. So although this person has exerted quite some effort on her LinkedIn, it's like, it's a long URL. If you're asked to copy paste it on an application, or if you put the link on your CV, you don't want it to be this long thing, right? You want it to be short and catchy, just your name, no other distractions. So this is something else that you can do very easily. Sorry, it took me a while to figure it out because I've done this a long time ago, but it's very easy. You just go to your profile, this little pen, and you edit your custom URL. Another thing is your LinkedIn should be public. This is not, you're free to do what you want on other social media platforms like Instagram or whatnot, but please, your LinkedIn should be public. Recruiters should be able to open your picture. They should be able to see your background photo, your summary, your articles, your experience, your recommendations. All of these things should be visible to others. Otherwise, it really defeats the purpose of LinkedIn if your profile is private. Uh, I'll stop here for LinkedIn to see if anyone has any questions or contributions. There's something that you want to share.
So, okay, do we have someone? I had sent them the link on how to change their URLs, and I took a screenshot and sent it to their WhatsApp group. So I'm sure they would have the practice for those who haven't changed it. So thank you for pointing that out. I think I also dropped the link on the chat box. So in case, that's great.
Okay, and you guys feel free to unmute as well if you want to ask a question or if you have something to say. It's a safe space. Feel free to say what you want to say.
Hi, Rawan.
How are you? Go ahead.
So much for everything you said so far, but I have a question. So you mentioned change your banner picture as one of the steps we should take in optimizing our LinkedIn. So I'm wondering, can your personal picture be in your banner picture aside your main profile picture itself? Or do you have to like put a of something you worked on or that thing there?
It's a good question. I don't think there's a hard and like fixed rule, but remember this LinkedIn is a professional platform, right? So if you put two pictures of yourself, it looks a little bit like a gallery more than a professional platform. Unless it's a picture, maybe if you want to put a picture of you with a team or with a group, or if you want to put a picture of yourself and then next to it you put like your website or your banner or something that leads the user to take action. That would be my answer. So for example, your picture is your picture for people to know what you look like, and then your banner should make people either associate your name with something. So let's say you make cupcakes for moms who golf. So maybe your your banner can be that, you know, cupcakes and with like some golf sticks. I'm giving a random example. So it should make people associate your name with something, or it should make people take some sort of action. So you can tell them, this is my website, this is my newsletter, you can read it, this is my product, you can buy it, this is my mailing list, you can register, this is my company I'm hiring. So maybe think of your banner as the real estate space where you want people to take action. That's how I would put it. It's my opinion. I wouldn't advise you to just put your picture with no action statement or with no other message or with no branding at all. At least you should have like some sort of logo or some sort of branding on your picture.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. I hope it was helpful. There was another hand. I'm not sure from whom.
Okay, I can't see anyone for now, but yeah, I think we
Okay.
can go on.
All right. So we have 10 more minutes. I'm thinking, so according to, Blessing, you can go ahead. You can unmute. Hello? Okay, I'm not sure if you want to say something or not, but if you do, you can feel free to unmute. I see that there's a new colleague that has joined as well, Juliet. So Juliet can be in the group of Veronica and Happiness for revising the LinkedIn profiles. Let me see. What was the second favorite thing, the second favorite topic that we can go through or we can start going through? Other than that, I have another idea. There's also some other worksheets since I've already paired you in groups. So after LinkedIn, another thing that I wanted the group to do since it's a larger group, so I will be sharing the worksheet for how to create your personal brand as soon as we hang up, or maybe in about an hour later because I'm fasting. After I've broken my fast, I'll share the worksheet with Veronica. On the presentation as well, you will see, I'll quickly go through these because I'm going to be sharing them, but the people who are interested in learning and development, all you need for these resources on the presentation is internet, which if you're on this call right now, you have, and a mobile device or a computer, which also, if you're on this call, you have. So there's a lot of free resources to take courses, to enhance your skills, to upskill for those who said they were unemployed. So don't let like finances get in your way. If there's something that you're really, really keen to learn, there's a lot of resources on this presentation and resources all over the internet for learning and development. So for example, if you're keen to learn like data skills, you can go to Data Camp. If you're keen to learn, let's say, economics and science, you can go to Khan Academy. If you're keen to learn any topic in the world, like just like as an example, sorry, I'm opening other presentations, but let's say if you want to go to Coursera, which I'm sure a lot of you have used before, tell me anything that you want to learn. Anybody unmute their mic and tell me what they want to learn.
Program management.
Okay, so program management. So I'm on Coursera.org. This is one of the really, really famous ones. Let me see, program management. So it comes up right away. And there is all these results. So you can go through them. You can filter, you can join for free. And a lot of the courses or most of the courses on Coursera are for free. Um, the only catch is that if you want to take the course and finish it for free, you don't get a certificate. If you want a certificate, you see, if you want a certificate, it says financial aid available. So let's say I'm going to just, so this is sorry on product management, but the idea is the same for many courses. So this course, you can enroll for free. You can start whenever you want. So it's going to say starts March 15. It's beginner level. Let me just charge my laptop. And then there's another a small tab here that says financial aid available. So if you click on this one, so you can enroll for free and take the course, or you can, I don't know if this will work because I was using my previous company email. Okay, so over here, I've just signed in using the profile that I previously had, included in your organization's learning program. Okay, so I signed in using like a company email, so it gave me this page, but let me try to sign in again. I want to show you that even if you want to take the course for free and you want to, okay, I'm going to log out to show you how it looks like for users who are not signed in. So it looks like that. And then you could put financial aid available. I can continue with Google. And then basically you will have to complete a financial aid application telling you why do you want to take this course? Basic questions, you know. Why do you want to take this course? What are you going to do with the information you learn? Things like that. You have to fill an application. And then they come back to you and tell you, okay, we've accepted your application. You can take the course for free. This is not for all courses. Some courses provide that financial aid option. Some courses don't. But in all cases, you can still take the course for free. It's just about that certificate. You know, if you want that certificate, you can also apply for the financial aid and take the course. I've done that before. There's no strings attached, no credit card needed. So you can try that approach. If not, there's other websites as well. So don't tie yourself to one platform. There's going to be thousands of courses, whether it's like product development, project management, whatever it is. Even if you want to be more specific, like, for example, let me open the presentation again. So for example, if you want to learn like project management in humanitarian settings or in emergencies, you can go to Relief Web, look at their courses. Again, they're going to be free, and then you can take the course, and I think they give you a certificate as well. So don't limit yourself. There's some options on this presentation. Maybe I've listed the famous ones or the ones that are commonly known. But if you dig deeper, um, if you ask ChatGPT or if you just do a simple Google search on like free courses on X or free courses on Y, you will be able to get a list. That's really not the issue. I think the issue is that there's so many options, so many like open online courses. The issue is commitment. A lot of people, including myself sometimes, I start a course and because it's for free and because, you know, there's no teacher that's on my back telling me where's your homework, you don't finish the course because there's no discipline. So the problem with a lot of these courses is, I would say, discipline and commitment more than availability of resources. The resources are there. You just have to look for them and commit. If you think you are going to have trouble committing, you can have an accountability or a commitment partner. If you don't have that, you can really commit yourself on the internet. You could write on LinkedIn, even if nobody's going to read the post, you could say, I've registered an XYZ course that will finish in 6 weeks. Then, you know, you've completely put yourself out there and you've committed yourself through this statement to finish the course. So you can find ways to commit yourself so that you can be accountable and finish what you started. So in addition to the sheet on branding, I will send you two other sheets. So there is, if you want to keep, since you've enrolled in a mentorship class, you're not always going to have a mentor with you. I'll send you two other resources. So this resource is 21 questions to coach yourself. So it depends on the way you were raised and how you were brought up, but a lot of people are shy to ask themselves deep questions, to really be introspective and find out about what they want, what skills they need to develop, where they need to be in their lives, what steps they need to be taking, what mistakes they need to be aware of, and so forth. So this is a sheet that you can fill out on 21 questions to coach yourself. So nobody's going to see this if that's your choice, if you want to share it with others or not. But you can be as honest as possible and then answer these questions so that they help you get closer to your career dreams. So I'll share that as well. So I'll share this one, 9 steps to create your personal brand. And I'll share the presentation so that you can go through the 9 steps to the 9 or 10 steps to adjust your LinkedIn or update it. And the last thing I will share is a career development plan. So this one, it's also up to you whether you want to share it with your mentee, your partner or not. Let me see how to make that bigger. Okay. So career development plan. So this is for you as well. You can also be honest with yourself. It's 2 pages. And then you can create a career action plan for yourself. So for example, your name, you could say, my name is Veronica. My current position is I'm a lawyer and I run an NGO. The date, your career mission statement. So I want to help maybe other young lawyers to be advocates and policymakers in Nigeria. Your SMART goal, maybe Veronica's SMART goal is by 2025, I want to have trained 50 Nigerian women on law and policy. Just giving an example. What are her bridges? Maybe she has a large network, she's well traveled, she has a strong education. What are her barriers? Maybe time, she has a lot to do. Action step, what are her action steps? Maybe number one is to um, create the branding, recruit the young women, information and resources. Maybe she needs to take a course to develop some skills that she doesn't have. Action step number 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So you develop a plan for yourself. I would say it shouldn't be too long, like maybe just your career development plan should be until the end of the year, like until the end of 2024, because things change rapidly, we change rapidly, so don't make it so far-fetched. It could be just till the end of the year, and then after that, you can fill another career development plan for the new year. That's it. I know I was rushing through everything, but you guys caught me off guard. I did not expect you to pick LinkedIn, and I could have come with one small presentation, but I was like, okay, let me prepare 6 mini presentations and let them choose. So you can also give me your feedback if that was a good approach, or if in my next mentoring sessions I should just come with a small slide deck and and call the shots. But that was it for me, unless anyone has any questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rawan. I think I have like one thing to ask about. I mean, you currently work at the UN. So, I mean, if you could just touch a bit about how we can have career opportunities at the Women UN, I think that would love to hear that. Just a brief
All
on.
right. Okay, thank you so much, Fan. That's a great question. And that's really why I wrote the book, because it's a great question, but it's a very difficult answer. For me, I would say for young African women like ourselves who do not have uh, a lot of access to international opportunity through maybe programs like the Young Professionals programs, which targets people from certain countries, or like the Junior Professional programs, which are funded by like European countries and so forth. I would say you have some entry points. So the entry points that are not so typical and that facilitate your access to the UN. Number one is you can try the United Nations volunteering. Volunteering in the UN is paid if it's on site. So if you're on site, if you have a job and you've traveled for this volunteering position, then it's a paid position, and you should look for these opportunities. The website it's in the presentation, but it's UVP. It's here, app.unv.org. So this is how you create a volunteering platform. There's 2 types of volunteers, on-site and online. If you're an on-site volunteer, this is a paid position. Online volunteers are not paid, and these are usually very short opportunities. 4 weeks, for example. Super short, so it's like a month or less to do something very specific, like translation. If you want to volunteer your time to translate, to meet others, you can do that, but it will be unpaid. My first job at the UN, if like you want to call it a formal job, I was an online volunteer for course writing or like course development for an educational course. And then after that, I slowly started finding my way. But one entry point is volunteering positions. These positions are not posted on like UN websites. The volunteering positions are posted separately, and a lot of people, for some reason, are surprised to know that volunteers are paid. I know the name is confusing, but this is one entry point to the UN. Another entry point is fellowships. So, for example, I joined the UN on a fellowship. It was called the African Young Women Leaders Fellowship. These fellowships are great. The problem with countries with um, massive populations like Egypt and Nigeria is that you're competing against, a lot of people. So, for example, if you're from, let's say, the Gambia, even if a few other people apply from your country, you're usually competing with those because they want a diverse pool. So they want, let's say, one woman from every African country. So with countries with very large populations, it's often tricky because you're still competing with a large pool of candidates. That does not mean in any way, shape, or form that you shouldn't apply. You should apply and give it your best shot, even though you're competing with, you can think about it as you're competing with more people, but think about it also that maybe you have better access to education, better access to opportunities than other African countries in the region that are less developed. So you also have an edge which you can bring to the table. So number one, volunteering. Number two, fellowships. Number three, this is something again that not a lot of people consider, but I would say look for duty stations that are non-family duty stations, or like we call them FCV, fragility, conflict, and violence duty stations. So, for example, if you're applying for a post in Afghanistan or in Iraq or in Palestine or in these stations, if you have no barrier to, or if you have no family members, like children, immediate family members that need your attention and care, maybe when you're younger, you can consider looking at these posts. I recently shared a post in Ukraine with one of my friends, and she sent me a message right before I started this live to tell me that she was shortlisted for an interview. So usually emergency posts and conflict stations, conflict duty stations, non-family duty stations, the competition is naturally less because less people want to go there, and also the recruitment is faster. So you can think of these like non-traditional ways. Another way is consultancies. So I'm a consultant right now with WFP. You can also look for consultancies on the websites of UN organizations. For WFP, the consultancies are posted normally on like the WFP careers website. Okay, 5 minutes, Sima. So for example, you can look at the consultancies here as well. So the consultancies are just here. For example, consultant supply chain. Usually the level of the consultancy is mentioned as well. So if you are early on in your career, you will be looking for 5 minutes. You will be looking for a junior consultancy or a consultancy level 1. Let me look for that one of those right now. Another thing is, which is also super important, things like that, rosters. So if you see something that says roster, this is a roster, but it's a roster for a national position. So it's for national staff in Ukraine. But sometimes these rosters are international. So if you see like a talent pool or a roster, definitely apply if you find a roster in your area of expertise, because what that means is that they will be using this pool of candidates to fill posts in the future. Like, let's say I'm opening a roster or a pool in WFP, it's called a fit pool, like fit candidates for this post. And then when a vacancy comes up, people will be recruited from that pool. So you can be on the pool for years. Somebody contacts you in a couple of years telling you there's a post, for example, in X location because you are on this pool. So keep your eye out as well for rosters, for pools of candidates, for fit pools, and so on, because these recruitments you can be in the pool of candidates for a long time. It's not like once the recruitment is closed and they've chosen a candidate, that's it. No, you still have a chance for a long time. So these are also good opportunities. This is a consultancy, for example, with WFP for a finance and admin officer. They're looking for somebody 3 to 5 years of experience, um, has fluency in English. This is in Mozambique, so they're more likely than not to be looking for somebody who speaks Portuguese. Otherwise, um, this person will struggle in the duty station. But like a consultancy is a good way to enter the system. Of course, you don't have the strong benefits of a fixed term staff, but it's one way that a lot of people enter the system. And then when they prove themselves after years, they're able to move on to other fixed term contracts and contracts with more benefits. So look for positions, look for volunteering positions, fellowships, look for national positions within Nigeria as well. National opportunities are always a lot more than international opportunities, and keep your eyes open for opportunities in fragility and conflict, violence, duty stations if you're open to that, because the recruitment is usually faster and there's less competition than in duty stations that are more of a development context.
Thank you very much, Rawan. I know that you're running to break your fast with your family.
Yes.
We appreciate you joining this session, and I'm sure that the mentees were able to learn a lot. I also want to thank you for sharing your resources, for sharing the worksheets. I know for engaging us. It was really, really an amazing session. It was very, very participatory. I would want to appreciate you for that. So thank you very much. So can we just all clap, send our virtual claps and our appreciation for Rawan. Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming and having this conversation with us. And thank you so much for everything. So I wish you all the best in your work, and I wish you a happy Ramadan. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you
Thank
so much, Veronica, for having me. I'll send you the resources as promised tonight or by tomorrow.
you.
And I appreciate your leadership as well. And thank you all for being good sports while I navigated the technology and jumped from topic to topic.
Thank,
um,
thank
and
you.
if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Rawan. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye. Okay. Thank you all. So we'll see you tomorrow again for another session. Thank you so much for joining. I know the hassle of joining network issues. We really, really appreciate you joining the session, and I hope that you've been able to learn. So for those who joined, I would share the grouping for Rawan for the LinkedIn review. If you want me to also help you with the review, I had promised I would review people's LinkedIn. So I'll still share the group so that we can all help each other. For those who are not in the group, we'll also try to get their information so we can group them and you guys can work in peers to review each other. It's really a great thing because I think that it can create a bond and a further connection between those who are paired. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a lovely weekend. See you tomorrow. Bye now.
Thank you, Ma. Bye.
You're welcome. Let me stop recording.